Hello everybody, let's now discuss separation techniques. A change in a substance is classified as physical if number 1, no new substance is formed. 2, the mass of the substance remains the same. 3, the process can be reversed. A change is classified as chemical if number 1, a new substance is formed, the mass changes, and the process is impossible or difficult to reverse. During a chemical change, energy is either taken in or given out. There are different types of mixtures and therefore different ways to separate different types of mixtures. There are only 5 ways to separate mixtures of liquids and solids. Number 1, decantation. Decantation is a process for the separation of mixtures of immiscible liquids or of a liquid and a solid mixture such as a suspension. Oil and water, for example. Oil floats on top of the water. After letting a mixture of oil and water sit, the oil can be poured off from the water. In a separating funnel, the water can be drained away from the oil. Dirt and water can also be separated using decantation. Decantation is one way to clean muddy water. Number 2, filtration. The process in which solid particles in a liquid or gaseous fluid are removed by the use of filter medium that permit to the fluid to pass through but retains the solid particles. Either the clarified fluid or the solid particles removed from the fluid may be desired products. Number 3, evaporation. Evaporation is a type of vaporization that occurs on the surface of a liquid as it changes into the gas phase. The surrounding gas must not be saturated with the evaporating substance. When the molecules of the liquid collide, they transfer energy to each other based on how they collide with each other. Number 4, flotation. Flotation is the action of floating in a liquid or gas. Number 5, crystallization. Crystallization is the process of atoms or molecules arranging into a well-defined, rigid crystal lattice in order to minimize their energetic state. The smallest entity of crystal lattice is called a unit cell, which can accept atoms or molecules to grow a macroscopic crystal. Methods of separating immiscible liquids include: number 1, use of a separating funnel. A separating funnel, also known as a separating funnel, also known as a separation funnel, is a piece of lab glassware used in liquid-liquid extraction to separate the components of a mixture into 2 immiscible solvents, phases of different densities. 2. Use of a centrifuge. Centrifugation is a technique that helps to separate mixtures by applying centrifugal force. The centrifuge is a device generally driven by an electric motor that puts an object, e.g. a rotor, in a rotational movement around a fixed axis. Methods of separating mixtures of solids are sublimation and magnetism. Methods of separating liquid solutions are: number 1, simple distillation, represented by the diagram. Definition: a method of separating mixtures based on the differences in volatiles in a boiling liquid mixture is what is known as simple distillation. The components in a sample mixture are vaporized by the application of heat and then immediately cooled by the action of cold water in the condenser. 2. Fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is the separation of mixtures into components of parts or fractions. Chemical compounds are separated by heating them to a temperature at which one or more fractions of the mixture will vaporize. It uses distillation in fractions. Lastly, paper chromatography. It is used to separate a mixture by moving it across a porous surface in an appropriate developing solvent. The different components in the mixture interact differently with both the solvent and the surface, and this causes the separation. A chromatogram is the result of paper chromatography. This experiment shows the bands of making inks by separated substance. Retention factor is the ratio of the distance moved by the component to the distance moved by the solvent. It is always smaller than 1, but always fixed for specific substances. It is calculated as retention factor is equal to distance moved by the component over the distance moved by the solvent. That's all and goodbye. But napanga mangi mahera.